The biggest trade of the offseason happened just recently. Micah Parsons was traded to the Green Bay Packers. 2 firsts and Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark. I don't think anybody expected this to happen, especially so quickly. Thoughts, boys, because it leaves a big hole in the Cowboys' defensive side. It's an important piece for the Packers to add. And what does this say about how Jerry Jones is dealing with his stars? Because we know he generally likes to pay his guys, but not that one.
Yeah, this is like the first instance where I've seen a situation where he's like not paid a guy that he chose to draft as well. So it's really interesting. Usually, even if you're not an all-timer, he takes care of his guys. So I kind of think it's weird because I think Micah, along with Dak, kind of kept like arm's distance. Like, don't get me wrong, they got along well, but he didn't embrace Jerry the way like former players did that he drafted. And I felt the way things ended towards the end, Jerry's kind of like, it's the ultimate power move. It's like, you're not bigger than the franchise. And to be honest, he's not. But it's more of a case of, look, I'm going to get rid of you. I'm going to move you. I'm going to get resources back. And they do need those resources. They've got no ability to move. If you look at their cap, so they have no flexibility. They couldn't get Derrick Henry last season. They don't want to be in that situation again. And they're kind of, depending on how Dak plays this season, it could be like almost like a mild reboot of the team. But they're going to get resources. They're going to be able to fix the run block on defense, because in my opinion, Micah Parsons is very much like a Von Miller. He's not like a pure linebacker. He's an edge rusher. So he's not going to set the edge. He's not really going to rush from the inside. He gives you explosive plays. He'll give you a lot of sacks. But in terms of like a scheme, you kind of need him to work. He's like an ISO guy. Like, you kind of need him to do that. Now, I think in Green Bay, he's going to be challenged to do more. But in terms of him getting to the QB, he's easily top 6 in the league right now. So I'm not really concerned about that. And I think Green Bay kind of benefit from this because they're close. They've got resources. What they want to do is handle the QBs in that division. And you need someone that can get pressure on the QB. So it makes sense. Dallas got a good haul. Those 2 first-round picks, you can trade back. You can trade forward. If there's a QB you like or a player you like, you can trade up. You can do some things, and they're going to have more money in the pocket. So I kind of feel as though Green Bay win the trade right now. We will see if Dallas will manage it in the next few years. Knowing Jerry Jones, who knows? But yeah.
Peter.
So this was kind of like, I expected this to happen at some point.
But to the Packers? Did you expect that was the destination?
Not to the Packers, but I expected Micah Parsons to be traded and not be a Cowboy for life.
I would agree with that, yeah.
The reason why is because Jerry loved Micah Parsons. Don't get me wrong, he really embraced him. And even some of the guys that Jerry is not quite as close as he was with, like Dak Prescott. Jerry's quarterbacks, Romo, Aikman, he was close with those guys. He paid those guys. And with Dak, he has been a bit of like a pulling teeth for him to finally give Dak the money, because the relation between him and Dak is not as close as he would have liked it to be. And
that kept it strictly business. That kept it strictly business.
Yes, but Dak committed to, I'm not going to seek a trade. I'm still going to keep negotiating until we get to the point of where I want it to be. But here's the thing about Micah Parsons, right? Jerry Jones said something, and that's the reason why he traded him. After he traded Micah, what did Jerry Jones say? We need to stop the run. And that's why he traded him. And Micah Parsons needs to realize in Green Bay, it's a new chapter for him. Green Bay needed Micah Parsons, especially for his pass rushing skills. But he needs to play the run. You talked about Von Miller, right?
Like, if you look at, I'll give an example. An elite pass rusher, right? The elite pass rushers in the league, they're all half decent against the run, right? They're capable.
Exactly.
Or they're elite against the run if you're looking like a TJ Watt, who's just ridiculous, right? absolute monster, like in the entirety of the game. Whereas Parsons he's definitely one-sided in terms of like he's very good at what he does, but the other part of the game is a little bit more limited.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, Green Bay needs him because Green Bay last year, their defense needed a pass rush. The defense was good, but they just didn't have the guy to go after the quarterback. And now they have that guy to go after the quarterback. But then on the flip side, Green Bay had to give away their top run-stopping defensive tackle because Kenny Clark is one of the best players in the league in the D tackle position against the run. So you have to trade your guy that helps you stop the run for a guy that pass rusher. And I understand pass rushers earn more, they're valuable, they're more sought after than run stopping guys. But stopping the run is still an essential part of the game. So Green Bay believes that with their 2 D tackles that they have on their roster, they will be able to take care of the run and allow Parsons to focus
they've currently
on
got, was it Devontae Wyatt, Colby Wooden as their 2
they're 2 starters. And I think they have enough faith in those guys to be able to like stop the run, along with Gary, is it Rashan Gary?
Rashan Gary's on the other side at defensive end, yeah.
Exactly. So Rashan Gary can play the run and rush the passer because he's developing to a good pass rusher, but I wouldn't put him in the elite pass rush set. Yes, he can get 10 to 12 sacks a year, but you look Parsons is your 14 to 18 sack guy in the right circumstances, and he can definitely do that. So I think they're looking at that in that aspect. But on the flip side, Dallas get 2 first-round picks next year to make moves in the draft, and I think Jerry is still. I recently watched the Cowboys documentary they released on Netflix about their glory days and where the Cowboys are at the moment, and I feel like Jerry is still trying to create the Cowboys of the 90s by himself, right? And that's still in his image, like get someone that can stop the run and rush the pass.
If we go and look at the Cowboys defensive, like what's now left, so they've got what? At defensive end, Sam Williams, Dante Fowler. And then obviously they drafted a rookie, Donovan Ezeruaku.
Yes, he got very
in
good,
the second round. So
yeah, he was one of the top guys in the draft that could pan out in the pros. Like he had very good positive reviews in the draft circles. He could have been the late first round pick, Donovan Ezeruaku, who hopefully they're thinking of relying on to develop into a pass rusher.
Now, obviously, all the jokes have been about the Cowboys are now going to be having to throw so much because they're not going to, defensively. They're not going to be the same in terms of like if you don't have a pass rush, you're going to be found wanting. Especially when you've got the Eagles in your division. They're going to own the division probably. You've got the Commanders. Or whatever they want to eventually call themselves again.
On Thursday, I'll be interested to see if with Kenny Clark and Osa Odigizziwa, those 2 guys along their defensive line, how they play the run versus your Eagles, because they're getting a test right out of the gate. Can you now stop the run? I mean, you couldn't stop it with Parsons, but can you still stop it now that you got Kenny Clark? So it'll be interesting to see that one.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting to see how Parsons gets on over in Green Bay. I'm sure the Green Bay fans are absolutely stoked to get an elite pass rusher over there, but let's see how much of an impact.
Quickly, did you guys see someone broke it on Twitter that the amount of money that he's going to make in Green Bay after taxes is not that much more than what he would have made in Dallas anyway, because of the taxes of both states?
Yeah, because obviously in Texas there is no state tax, so state income tax, so that obviously will make a difference. Hence why sometimes the wages are higher in other states compared to because obviously that's how that kind of counteracts each other. But yeah, let's just see how Mike actually gets on, and we'll revisit kind of his progress probably later on towards the season.